15 years ago, almost exactly to the day, Half-Life 2 was released. Today, Valve have just dropped a trailer for a brand new Half-Life game. That's a sentence I honestly didn't think I would ever say in my entire life. This is something I've joked about and debated about with friends year on year on year. I've worked in the games industry, in the games retail industry, for a very long time, and I've worked around people who love games with a passion, a burning passion. And Half-Life 3 is a hotly debated topic within those kind of circles and within my particular circle of friends. We bring it up as a meme. It's something that we don't or didn't genuinely believe we would ever see, and technically we're still not seeing Half-Life 3. But at this point, any Half-Life game is mind-blowing. Actually mind-blowing. So my little brother just sent me a link for this new trailer. He said that the trailer's out now, and I'm going to watch it. My brother is actually Half-Life 2 man on YouTube. He's an OG YouTuber. He's been doing Gmod animations for years, so shout out to him for sending me this trailer and telling me the trailer's out now. I knew it was coming. I knew they said it was going to be announced, but I thought it was being announced at the Game Awards. I might have got confused, I'm not sure, but either way, it's here now, and I honestly do not know what to expect. I know it's for VR, and I know it's a prequel set between the events of 1 and 2, and it's called Half-Life Alyx. So I would assume we play as Alyx Vance from Half-Life 2 and Episode 1 and Episode 2. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that this is even a thing, but then again, we live in a world where Shenmue 3 just came out, so it's a crazy time we live in. Maybe these are the end times, but hey, it's a great kind of end times to be living through right now, because we're getting some awesome new content I never thought we'd ever see. So I've always said, in terms of Half-Life, that they could never just come back and do the same thing they did 15 years ago. When they announced Half-Life 2, I remember being the right age and I saw it and it blew me away, just that kind of the physics-based gameplay, the way that in the original demo or the original trailer they showed Gordon with the crowbar and he was breaking wood and breaking boxes, and it was breaking down in the way that wood should break. It was reacting in the right way, and I can't remember how old I was, as a guy of that age, it just blew me away. I was like, this is crazy, this is the future. So I always knew that Half-Life couldn't just come back and do that again. They'd need to go big, and that's kind of always been my theory around why they haven't done Half-Life 3, because how do you reinvent the wheel again so many years later when so many companies are doing extraordinary things? But this might be it. I mean, there isn't, in my opinion, that huge world-changing VR game. It doesn't really exist. This is VR. This might be it. Who knows? I'm just going to jump in and watch the trailer and see if that's what they've gone for. I really don't know what to expect, but I'm excited. I'm a big fan of Half-Life. I really do enjoy the games. I haven't played them in many, many years. I played them on the original Xbox. My brother was a PC guy and he was playing them on PC. And I was on Xbox like a console scum. Yeah, I love the games to pieces. I own them on PC. I just haven't played them for a long time. But I'm excited for some new Half-Life content, as is probably the entire gaming world. So yeah, I'm not going to dilly-dally anymore. Dilly-dally, that's a classic phrase for you there. I'm just going to jump in and watch this trailer. Let's rock and roll. That immediately looks really pretty, but oh, I don't know if this is a gameplay trailer. I can't.
Alyx? Alyx!
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
Sounds like Rhys Darby from Flight of the Conchords.
There's no straight shot to the vault.
Oh, it looks really... That can't be gameplay.
I'm gonna head inside, find a way out.
Maybe it is.
I'm with you every step of the way.
That's definitely Rhys Darby.
Gonna need a gun! Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now!
Oh, that looks sweet.
Combine channel's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here, now.
No way can you reload the bullets like that.
Oh God.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows.
It looks really pretty for a VR game, like extraordinarily pretty for a VR
I
game.
never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You are not safe.
The way they're like pushing things out of the way and interacting with them.
Cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
I need to look at some things in that again. Oh, that's quite soon, isn't it? Oculus, that's fine. I have an Oculus. Okay, I need to look at some stuff in that again.
Straight shot.
Is this gameplay? Pushing the bucket out of the way.
Alex?
I'm here. So
Now
what's
this
the
looks
plan?
like they're building a fully
We can get this weapon.
interactable
What we're doing here could change things
VR
for
game.
us.
I need to
No
watch
straight
this
shot
again.
to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out.
Oh, that's some kind of little puzzle solving mechanic. That looks really cool. It looks really, really, really pretty for a VR game.
You're gonna need a gun.
And that is, I'm sure it's built for Valve Index, but hopefully it will work with, you know, all the VR headsets just as well as each other. Just looks wicked.
Combine cheddar's really picking up. They
I
know
need to
you're
look at if
coming.
there's any more kind of objects that are, yeah, just pushing all this stuff out of the way. Can it really interact with everything in the way that it should be interacted with?
Oh god.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out
Is
what
that the
he
original
knows.
voice actor? I think it's the original
Then
voice actor
they're
for
gonna
Alex.
All this is my fault.
Definitely Reece Darby though, I'm
I
going to
never
have to check,
told
but
you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry.
smashing,
baby.
yeah, pushing stuff
You
out
will
of the
not
way.
save him. Alex stands alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
It's not a lot to go off of. It's only about a minute and a half, but that and then G-Man at the end just seals the deal for me, really. That's suave mother chucker. Okay. That has the potential to be a VR seller, and I don't know of any other games that have got that potential. Super Hot and Beat Saber are probably the only two, to my knowledge, that have ever shown people or people have seen and reacted to in such a positive way that they've been like, oh, I might need to buy a VR headset. That looks like the next logical step in VR, in my opinion, just from that trailer. It's hard to say. It could be a vertical slice. It could be... I'm slightly wary of it because I've been burnt before by the games industry and by products that don't end up anything like what they've been advertised as originally. But that looks really good. The way she pushes the bucket out of the way at the start and then goes through everything on the shelf and it all falls over in like just a really realistic way. It looks like a pre-rendered cutscene, and if it isn't, that's impressive. That will push people to buy VR headsets. I think at the end it said it even supported the Windows mixed reality headset, which is quite a cheap alternative if you don't already have a expensive VR headset like the Vive or the Oculus or obviously the Valve Index. Yeah, that looked really impressive, and not too much of it. I want to see more. I'd like to sit and watch kind of like a half an hour segment of it. I don't know how long the game is. I don't know if it's like a full length game. Traditionally, VR games are very short, but I want that. I really want that. It isn't Half-Life 3, and I think people will react, maybe not negatively per se, but I think there will be quite... I don't know. I think there'll be reactions that are quite emotional, purely because it isn't Half-Life 3, so no Gordon Freeman, no continuation of the story. We're just bridging a gap there between 1 and 2. And there might be a bit of emotion just around the VR element of it, because if you don't have a VR headset and you've been waiting for 15 years or, several years since the episode 1 and 2 finished, you're going to have to run out and spend some serious cash to play this game. So it would be nice if it was made for people to play in a non-VR environment, but it looks like it's been heavily built to be played in that way. The way that she interacts with things and the way that it kind of is, it looks built for VR. It doesn't look like the kind of thing you'd probably be able to get away with playing on a controller. So I think probably there will be some emotional reactions from some people around, I want that and I can't have it, or I want that and I'm going to have to spend a lot of money to play it, which is natural. But Valve have just put out a apparently fantastic bit of VR equipment, and it makes perfect sense for them to now launch a flagship VR title that is going to shift units of that said headset. So, yeah, I'm impressed. Very early days, and I am skeptical, a little bit skeptical, purely because I've been burnt before, and I'd like to see some kind of confirmation that that's gameplay. I'd love to see a live demonstration of someone with a headset on playing it, and that is what they can do. I'm confident with Valve that we will get that. I hope we'll get that. But that's a taster of what hopefully VR should be and what it can be, because I've always thought that VR was kind of only just tip of the iceberg at the moment, and we were kind of just playing with the possibilities, but we weren't quite truly getting there. Everything felt a little flat still in VR to me. You can only interact with the things that you're meant to be interacting with, and I think the point of VR is meant to immerse you fully in that world. So I think it's only been a matter of time before we got something like this that fully immersed us in a world. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go off and do some research, find out if we know anything about how long it's going to be. It's out in March, which is really cool. That's not too far away. I want to know how much it costs. It may be a bit early to know that. Who knows? Yeah, I am excited. That looked good. And it's crazy to me that there's a Half-Life game coming out. I really didn't think I'd ever see it. And I think a lot of people feel the same. So fair play, Valve, for doing it. It looks like you're going to pull off something pretty special. Maybe for a certain crowd, not for the mass majority, purely because of the VR element. But this is a step in the right direction. If this means we're one step closer to getting an actual Half-Life 3, then I'm all in. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. It's very cool for me as a gamer for many years to see something like this come to life. And as I mentioned earlier, Shenmue as well. It's kind of crazy that we're getting all these kind of long dormant franchises coming back to life. And for me, who grew up with that stuff, it just feels weird. It feels like I'm coming full circle, and all of a sudden I'm like a kid again, and one of my favorite franchises are being brought back to life. So yeah, it's pretty funky to be living in that time. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please hit subscribe and check out my other content. I've been doing all kinds of weird stuff recently. I've got some Pokemon videos, I've got some horror content, I've got a lot of VR content. I've been playing around with Red Dead 2 in VR. Yeah, just have a little browse, see if there's anything you like. I'm pretty regular as well, put out content almost every week. But yeah, have a look around, see if you like anything, and I'll catch you next time for another video. Take care, guys. See you later.